Okay, good afternoon all. This is Dr. Mahesh M. Vanjeri, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, SDM College of Engineering and Technology, Dharwad. This class is conducted for MBA Semester 4 students in the subject of Supply Chain Management. Okay, so we are learning in Unit 4, Designing the Supply Chain Network, Chapter 5, Network Design. Okay, so I have come to the last part of the chapter. So I'll quickly take you through what we have discussed in the previous class. So far we have learned facility location, capacity allocation, and market allocation, factors influencing the above decisions, a strategic framework for facility location, and we were discussing the network optimization model. The illustration we learned till halfway. So we're going to continue with the illustration of how to use network optimization model. Okay. So if you remember, network optimization models are used in phase 2. Network optimization models are used to make the following decisions. The first one is allocating demand to production facilities. So in case if a company has multiple facilities, production facilities, okay, the demand has to be allocated to out of the total demand, a certain percentage of the demand has to be allocated to each factory. So how that is done? Then locating facilities, identifying the appropriate locations for the facilities and allocating production capacity to each facility. So in making these three decisions, which can keep the supply chain cost lower, these network optimization models are used. So in the previous class, we have started the illustration, okay, of Sun Oil. So far what we have learned is information on demand data, production and transportation costs are collected, and the vice president of a supply chain decides to view the worldwide demand in terms of 5 regions. So data collected are shown in the figure 5.3. So what you can see here, this is the demand region. Okay, so the demand in North America is 12 million units. The demand in South America for the company's products is 8 million units. The demand in Europe is 14 million units. The demand in Asia is 16 million units. And the demand in Africa for the company products is 7 million units. And from B4 to B8, F8, from B4 to F8, this is the information on production and transportation cost per 1 million units in thousands of dollars. For example, if the company decides to make in North America and sell in North America, for 1 million units, it would incur a cost of $81,000. Similarly, if the company decides to manufacture in North America and sell in South America, okay, it would incur a cost of $92,000 for 1 million units. We also learned as the distance goes on increasing, the production and transportation cost also go on increasing. Okay. Then other than that, we have seen this. These are the supply regions where the facilities can be located. They include North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. And the company has 2 types of facilities. One is production facilities with low capacity and production facilities with high capacities. The production facilities with low capacity are 10 million unit capacity facilities, and the facilities with high capacity can produce up to 20 million units. Okay, so this is where we stopped in the previous class. Now I'll continue. So different options to meet demand. The company has different options to meet the total demand. set up facility in each region. This is one option. So there are total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. Okay, so the company can set up facility in each region. Okay, so one facility in each region, or consolidate plants in just a few regions. So the company can have larger capacity plants and have a fewer number of facilities in few regions. Or in this case, if the company chooses the option of opening a facility each in region, they need to go for a lower capacity facilities. So vice president wants to know what the lowest cost network looks like. The vice president of supply chain wants to know what the lowest cost network looks like. Okay, so the questions in front of supply chain manager, vice president supply chain are which plans to establish, how to configure the network. So basically we are learning network design. Okay, now data is collected in a form that can be used for a quantitative model. The model is solved using solver tool in Excel. So nowadays more better software are also available for the same decisions. But in our textbook, we are learning the network optimization model solved through solver tool in Excel. The optimal solution will be as shown in figure 5.7. See, once we feed the data in this format, once we feed the data of demand data, production and cost data, demand region, supply region, low capacity facilities, high capacity facilities. So once the demand is fed, okay, so the solver tool will create a network for the company. Okay, so optimal solution will be as shown in figure 5.7 once the data is fed into the solver tool in Excel. So according to figure 5.7, facilities will be located in South America, Asia and Africa. So this is the first question, whether to set up facility in each region, means 5 facilities, or consolidate plants in just a few regions. So the solver tool has given a solution in the form of consolidate plants in just a few regions. That's why the facilities according to the figure 5.7, which I'm going to show next, there will be fewer facilities with a larger production capacity, that is 20 million unit capacity, and only 3 of them will be located, one each in South America, Asia and Africa. And a high capacity plant is planned, that is 20 million unit production capacity plants are planned in each region. So one in South America, one in Asia, one in Africa. So this is how we can view it. So this is the data what we fed, okay, in the solver tool in Excel, and this is the output. These are the decision variables, or this is how our network, low cost network would look like. So I'll explain, please pay attention. Okay, the first plant will be opened in South America. Okay, so it will be of one plant with a larger production capacity, that is the 20 million units production capacity. So out of the 20 million units produced in South America, 12 million units will be supplied to North America, and 8 million units will be supplied to South America. So total 20 million units are utilized. Production capacity utilized is 100%. Then the second plant will be opened in Asia. Okay, so again, one plant with a larger production capacity, that is 20 million units. So out of 20 million units, 4 million units produced in Asia will be supplied to Europe, and 16 million units produced will be supplied in Asia itself. So 4 plus 16, 20 million units. Production capacity utilization is 100%. Then the third plant will be opened in the region of Africa. So again, one plant with a 20 million unit capacity, larger capacity. So out of which 10 million units produced will be supplied to Europe, and 7 million units will be supplied to Africa. Okay, so this is the lowest cost network. So 3 questions are addressed here. Okay. So 3 decisions are made. Basically what I began with, I'll just take you back to those 3 decisions. Allocating demand to production facilities. Okay. So that is what we can see here. The demand is allocated to each production facility. So 12 million units. The total demand in North America is 12 million units. The entire North American demand is allocated to South America. Okay, then the total demand in South America is 8 million units. So the entire demand will be met from the South American plant itself. Then the total demand in Asia is the total demand in Europe is 14 million units. Okay, so of which 4 million units will be supplied from Asia and 10 million units will be supplied from African plant. So 14 million demand is met. Total demand in Asia is 16 million units. So the entire 16 million units will be supplied from the Asian plants itself. Then the total demand in Africa is 7 million units. The entire 7 million units, okay, demand will be met from the African plant itself. So first decision is taken care. Then second decision, locating facilities. So location of the facilities. Okay, then third is allocating capacity. So second decision was about locating the facilities, where the factories or facilities should be opened. So that is addressed here. One in South America, one in Asia, and one in Africa. Facility location decision is also made. Third is production capacity. So all the 3 plants, okay, will have the production capacity of 20 million units. Okay. So all the 3 decisions are met. That is what we began with. So how network optimization models are used in phase 2 in deciding location of the facility, production capacity, and allocating demand to each facility. And this table mentions the excess capacity. Okay, in Asian plant, if South American plant, if we consider 20 million unit capacity, 12 plus 8, 20 million capacity is utilized, no excess capacity. Asian plant 4 plus 16, 20 million capacity is utilized, no excess capacity. African plants 10 plus 7, 17 million units are manufactured. So there is an excess capacity of 3 million units in African plants. But even with this, this will be the lowest cost network for Sun Oil. Okay, so I hope the illustration is clear about network optimization model. Yeah, I will take questions from your end, but only 4 slides are remaining, after which I will take questions from your end if you have any doubts. Okay, and in the meanwhile, if you have any problem with the sound, okay, so please let me know. Then, so the next type of model is gravity location model. It is used in phase 3. So network optimization models are used during second phase of the global network design, whereas gravity location models are used in phase 3. So let us, during phase 3, the manager identifies the potential locations in each region where the company has decided to locate a plant. So if you consider the previous illustration, Sun Oil has decided to locate a plant each in 3 regions. One is South America, one is Asia, one is Africa. So you can understand that Asia is a continent. Okay, where exactly in Asia? So whether it is going to be in China or India or in Thailand or in Vietnam. Okay, so where the specific location of the facility is to be made. So to make such a decision, gravity location models are used. So I repeat, during phase 3, manager identifies the potential locations in each region. For example, if Asia is one among the region where the facility will be located, as I said, Asia is a continent. There are several countries. So the manager has to decide in which country, the facility should be started. So where the company has decided to locate a plant. Then gravity models can be useful when identifying suitable geographic locations within a region. So as I said, within Asia, for example, whether it is going to be China, Thailand, Vietnam, or India, for example. So gravity models are used to find locations that minimize cost of transporting raw materials from suppliers and finished goods to the markets served. Okay, so gravity models basically enable a company to identify the strategic locations from where the distance between suppliers of raw materials to company as well as the distance between company to the market is minimized, thereby minimizing the transportation costs. So gravity models help identify the optimal location that minimizes total transportation cost. Okay, a sum of inventory cost plus transportation cost plus facility cost. Again, the model is used, okay, the model is solved using solver tool in Excel. You need to feed certain data the way we fed it in a network optimization model, and the solver tool will make a decision, okay, with the input provided. But we are not going to consider the illustration for gravity model here. Okay. So that's a summary of what we learned. What is the role of network design decisions in the supply chain? What are the factors influencing supply chain network design decisions? We described, we learned, okay, a strategic framework for facility location. Okay, then the methods used for facility location and capacity allocation. So gravity method, we just briefly learned it. Gravity method is used in phase 3, where within a region, specific geographic location needs to be identified for the facility. The network optimization models are used during phase 2, where regions are identified like Asia, South America, Africa, etc. Okay, so this with this we conclude with chapter 5, network design, from unit 4, okay, of supply chain management. So now I'm going to unmute your audio. Okay, so those who have any doubts, those who have any questions, only those students please, okay, unmute yourself, ask the question, okay, and after that again remember to mute your audio.
అందుకే తీసేస్తున్నాను నేను డోర్ ఇట్లా.
Yes, any questions, any doubts? Steffi, any questions? Ajit, can you hear me? Any questions? Uday, can you hear me? Any questions?
Yes, sir. No, sir.
Okay, good. Steffi, any questions? Can you hear me? Unmute your audio if you want to speak. Okay, Sachin Umbarje, any questions?
No sir, no sir.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, then in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask later also. So just let me continue the practice of okay, discussing news from newspaper. Okay, whenever we get news related to specific subject, okay, so I discuss that. Okay, so this is from today's Times of India newspaper, page number 9. Okay, After Reliance Industries Limited, Amazon set to bring local kiranas online. So it is related to our Unit 3 and Unit 4 chapters, distribution, network, and network design. Okay, so let's see what is the news first. Amazon India said it has onboarded 5,000 offline retailers across categories on its platform under what it calls local shops. Okay. The move comes a day after the Mukesh Ambani led Reliance Industries announced a partnership between Jio and WhatsApp for a commerce initiative. Started as a pilot project 6 months ago, local standalone stores selling grocery, consumer electronics, apparel, and other products are live on Amazon across metro and non-metro markets. So these include, okay, the cities are mentioned here. Then the project also has relatively better known regional retailers like Sangeeta Electronics, Chroma, Vishal Mega Mart, among others. The local stores selling online would also fulfill most of the deliveries on their own. This is because they would be enabled with Amazon's technology to serve local orders first based on PIN codes where they can deliver the same day or next day. If the retailers are willing to sell nationally, they will be able to sell through Amazon's fulfillment services. Okay. Then one more point. A retailer can choose to deliver to certain PIN codes on its own, or by hiring a third-party logistic provider, and rest can be done through Amazon. Okay, so I'll just explain. So what is the present business model Amazon is using in India? So Amazon has vendors on its website. So when we place an order, so we place the order to the retailer, that is Amazon, and then Amazon places the order with the supplier or vendor. So depending on the availability of the merchandise, sometimes from the vendor itself, vendor's inventory, or sometimes from Amazon's inventory warehouse, okay, the goods are shipped to us. And using either wing of Amazon logistics or a third party logistics provider, the goods are delivered to our doorstep. Now, by roping in Kirana stores, not only Kirana stores, so please pay attention, they include local standalone stores selling grocery, means Kirana stores, consumer electronics, apparel, ready-made garments, and other products. Okay. So initially 5,000 retailers Amazon has roped in, through whom, okay, Amazon is going to sell. So whatever inventory the retailers will be holding, the same inventory will be visible online as well to customers, and customers can place an order from a local store itself. So in that case, when order is placed, let us say in Dharwad, there is a Virendra Dressland. Okay, in Dharwad, okay, there is a Virendra Dressland or Oswal. Okay, these are the two, okay, leading ready-made garment retailers in Dharwad. Okay, so if I place an order, okay, for the merchandise available in Virendra Dressland, so Virendra Dressland retailer himself can choose to deliver, okay, the goods to me, or Virendra Dressland retailer can choose a third party logistic provider who can make the delivery, or if that is also not possible, okay, Amazon will make the delivery. Okay, so this is how the model is used. So if you can recall the distribution networks, so it is going to be, if you remember, one of the types we learned in distribution networks are, okay, distributor storage with last mile delivery. So I repeat, distributor storage with last mile delivery. So it is the extension of that network here, retailer storage with last mile delivery. So I repeat, retailer storage with last mile delivery. So that is how exactly, so we can understand that what we are learning in the classroom, okay, is practiced by companies like Amazon. Okay, so now I'm going to unmute you all again. So related to this news also, if you have any questions, you can please ask, or if you have any value addition to make, you are most welcome. Okay, yes, any questions?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So can anyone would like to answer how the present crisis, that is the outbreak of COVID-19, has affected the supply chain? You can consider FMCG, for example, or the unorganized sector, fruits and vegetables. Okay, so if we can recall, okay, so due to the lockdown, companies or facilities could not operate with 100% okay employees. Okay, that is the first one restriction. Then even the workers were also scared to report to the production sites. So in one of the Times of India news in business column, Times Business, okay, it was mentioned some examples. Some of the companies were working, some of the factories were working with up to 25% employee availability only. Okay, so the manufacturing was affected. Similarly, supply of raw materials, and drivers were hesitating to drive the trucks of raw materials or finished goods from one stage to another stage. And even the retailers, grocery store owners, kirana store owners were afraid to open the stores. So the entire supply chain was disrupted. Okay, so which resulted in shortage of certain groceries. Okay, so anybody would like to add anything to this? Okay then. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, then this is the okay end of unit 4, chapter number 5. Okay, that is network design. Okay, so in next class, that is on Tuesday, I'm going to begin with chapters from unit 5. So they are basically about demand forecasting and planning supply and demand. Okay, so please keep reading newspaper. A lot of news is coming related to supply chain. Okay, so we can have a discussion about the same during the classes. Okay, then I would like to make a request. Okay, so those students who have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, then remember to hit the notification bell icon to receive notifications every time when I upload a new video. And those students who are remaining absent, okay, so due to network internet access problem, okay, they can later watch the videos from my YouTube channel. So those students also kindly request them to subscribe to my channel. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, then I thank you all for your patient participation in the online class. Okay, and I wish you a happy weekend. Stay at home and stay safe. Okay, see you on Tuesday. And if you have any questions or any feedback, please call me and speak to me. Thank you one and all.
Thank you.
Welcome. You are welcome.
TT.